What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to Saturday night's Anfield Agenda News Roundup. As always, we're going to take you through the very latest news surrounding Liverpool Football Club with a view to both this winter and next summer's transfer window. Over the course of the next few minutes, I'm going to give you stories related to Jonathan David, a player at Feyenoord that Arne Slot apparently has his sights set on. We're going to give you some quotes on the manager after the match today and a few other bits and pieces, including the latest on Liverpool's pursuit of Ryan CHERKI of Lyon. So, as always, I want to know your thoughts. Do let me know in the comment section after the video. Drop a like if you've enjoyed it, and I certainly hope you do. And please do hit that subscribe button. Delighted to say our family grew to 296,000 strong today. And as you can see from the top corner, we are closing in towards our goal of 300,000 subscribers. So thank you all from the bottom of my heart for your continued support of the channel. It means the world to me. I'm going to get straight into it, folks, because I have a lot to go through over the next few minutes. And I'm going to start off with a report that I'm sure comes off the back of him scoring against Liverpool, but also the fact that we have been monitoring for a while. But David Ornstein said Liverpool, Chelsea, Spurs and Aston Villa are among many sides who rate Lille striker Jonathan David. Now, if you're not aware, he becomes a free agent in the summer. So much like our players, Mohamed Salah, Trent and Virgil, he can now sign a pre-contract, if he so wishes, with a club outside of France for next summer. So let's wait and see what happens on this one. I think it's been fairly mixed reviews from Liverpool fans around the idea of Jonathan David coming into the club. He certainly wouldn't be at the top of my wish list, but you know, he is coming on a free potentially, so we know who that will appeal to. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on to a situation coming from Paul Gorst of the Echo. Mr. Paul Gorst, how are we, Paul? He said, in the case of Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk, it's still thought that they are only listening to internal offers at present. Paul goes on to say, how much longer that remains the case, however, is anyone's guess. And that's the problem. Like we said, these guys are being respectful to the club at the minute. They are only listening, as Mr. Gorst there said, to internal offers. But how long before that external noise starts to come through? I know how he could resolve it. I know how we could all be resolved of it. That's with them signing the contracts if the club come back to them with improved offers. Because we know the offers are currently on the table for the players, but none of them seem to have any intention of signing them. And it must be because they don't think it meets what they're asking. So hopefully we can get this cleared up, because the longer it drags on, the more worrying it becomes, and of course the more frustrating for us fans. So, Arne Slot has been speaking about Virgil van Dijk now getting up to the 300 appearance mark for Liverpool Football Club. A tremendous achievement for our captain, and well done to Virgil van Dijk on that, and here's to many more. He said, I have to make a list about what Virgil brings to the team so I can bring it to the next press conference. That would be one of those open the scroll and let it keep rolling type of scenarios. He's definitely a leader, said Arne, not only on the pitch but also on the training ground. He's had a fantastic season, which he most certainly has, which again, you know, following on from what Arne said, is the reason we're all waiting anxiously to see if Liverpool and Virgil can come to an agreement that would see him extend his stay at the club, which is what everybody wants at this time. And I'm sure Virgil wants that as well. So Mikel Arteta has fired a title warning to Liverpool. And look, God bless them. They're doing their best, aren't they, to try to put us under pressure. Paul Merson on Sky and talking about Liverpool capitulating last year and it might happen again. Yeah, I get it. I understand it. If I was in their position, I'd be hopeful, wanting as well. But utterly, I think they're going to come up short. Not Liverpool, Arsenal. But this is what Arteta had to say. They normally do have a wobble, so we'll be there. He went on to say, the margins are really, really small. You see how things could have gone last weekend. Turning points are minimal. We have to be at it all the time. There's still a long, long way to go. Yeah, turning points were minimal, but we got the win. And we got another win today. And every week that goes by is another 3 points closer to that Premier League title. Now, next weekend could be a big weekend in the Premier League. Manchester City travel to take on Arsenal, and then we play, of course, the day before at the Vitality against Bournemouth in what's going to be a tough game. So if we can get through next week, and if Arsenal drop any more points, then I think, you know, you're going to have to stop grasping at those straws, because I only see the league going one way if that's the case. But a lot of football to be played. So now I'm going to move on to the transfer talk of the video, and the part coming in from, well, multiple reports, to be honest with you. I've tried to play this one down over the last few days, but There is a report now coming from Africa Foot, who are covering football in Africa, surprisingly enough, and they're speaking about the Algerian international and Feyenoord player. That player is Anis Hadj Moussa. This piece said that Liverpool are very close to tying up a deal that would see him come to Liverpool for €12 million in the summer. The piece goes on to say that Liverpool's head of recruitment, Barry Hunter, who I believe is actually a chief scout, if I'm not mistaken. It's Dave Fallows and Barry Hunter, both of those gents, is leading discussions with a close contact and his entourage, in particular with the agent of the player, Mohamed Damane. Now, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know much about this guy. I did a quick search on him. I know that he's played 15 games for Feyenoord this season, or in total scoring 3 goals. Before that, he was on loan at Vitesse Arnhem. Then he was at Patro Eisden, where he scored 1 goal in 16, then 8 goals in 33 for Olympic Charleroi. It would be a massive step up. It would. A huge step up to go from 3 goals in the Eredivisie with Feyenoord to coming into Liverpool and looking to make a difference. So I truly don't know if this is cheapness, if it's stupidity, or if it's waffle. But either way, this report has been around for a few days. It looks like, according to this one, it's moved along a bit further. But I want to know what you guys think. If you've watched them, let me know your thoughts. I would have thought if we did look at a forward, maybe from Feyenoord, it would have been Santiago Jimenez. But there you go. Let's wait and see. Algeria international. So anybody from that neck of the woods, do feel free to let me know if you know much about this gentleman in the comments. Next up, transfer agreement for Liverpool target was the headline. Don't get excited. It isn't going to actually say that an agreement's been released or done. But it does say, like we've said before, that there's an agreement for Lyon to allow Ryan Cherki to go for 21 or 22 million euro, which is about £19 million. They say there's a gentleman's agreement for him to come. Lots of talk about Liverpool making a late move in the window for him. I don't know too much about it, but according to this piece here, Lionel Messi said that he's caught the eye of Lionel Messi and been described by Mbappe as a future Messi. I haven't watched much of Cherki, but at 90 million quid for a 21, 22-year-old player, I think he's still 21, it could prove to be an absolute bargain for Liverpool. And I know he's very highly thought of within the game. We broke you guys the news from John Texter a few weeks ago, the owner of Lyon, that he wasn't best pleased with his entourage, shall we say, and what they're looking for there. He said the player himself seems like a nice, humble young man, but his entourage, well, they weren't very happy with them. So let's wait and see what happens here. We know the window closes February the 3rd. There's been lots and lots of talk about Liverpool being interested. We can confirm that interest as per many journalists out there as well. So let's wait and see. Again, though, I would ask, why are we making moves for forwards? Are we fearing somebody's bound to move on? Or are we just looking to get an opportunistic signing? A word that is, I know, one that we don't like to talk about very often. But again, there's credibility to it, so we've got to discuss it. So let me know what you guys think. Ryan Cherki, would you have him at Liverpool, yes or no, at 19 million? And if so, who would make way? We know that Liverpool have turned down offers for Darwin, and it doesn't look like we're willing to accept any offers in January for him, so that could be the summer. But again, this does fall into that opportunistic bracket, and I'm not against good footballers being bought for small money, far from it, but I do want to know that it's part of a plan and not just an opportunistic signing. Right, Arne Slot, speaking about somebody who many people, including myself, feel doesn't always get the credit that he deserves, and that is Dominik Szoboszlai. Speaking after the game today, Arne said he doesn't always get the credit for the fact that he's very important for this team because his work rate is unbelievable. He just keeps on running with the highest intensity, and that's so important for a team that wants to compete for something. He was absolutely fantastic today. He was the Anfield Agenda man of the match. Personally, I gave it to Cody Gakpo for the 2 goals and the assist, but the viewers, they voted for Dominik Szoboszlai, and I'm so glad to see that he's getting applauded for another great performance. He's so important, as you said, and as Arne said, when he's not on the team, you see what we're missing. So here's to keeping him fit and available, and it'll be interesting to see what team Arne does go with for the game in Eindhoven on Wednesday. By the way, all the Champions League games are taking place at the same time on Wednesday, so Liverpool know we just need 1 point to top the league format of the Champions League group stages. I still call it the group stage, sorry. But we want to win, right? We want to be the first team to go perfect in this new format in the league phase. We can do that and secure a top spot as well by beating PSV Eindhoven. Hopefully we see more minutes for Chiesa and Elliott. You know, bringing Chiesa on for 5 today wasn't really going to do much, was it? So hopefully we see a little bit more of him on Wednesday. And then it's all roads down to the Vitality, where the Liverpool boys will take on Bournemouth in a mouth-watering game, 3 p.m. next Saturday, which of course means it's going to be a blackout in the UK. It's on Premier Sport in Ireland, so I've got you covered on that one. And again, enjoy the rest of your weekends, my friends. I want to thank you for your unbelievable support. You'll never know what it means to me. I'll never be able to repay it, but I can just keep saying thank you. And to those of you that maybe don't think that I'm worth watching, well, don't waste your time. You know, don't waste your time being angry at me. I'm not worth being angry at. Go and do something that makes you happy. But for the rest of you, love you to bits. Thank you. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.